What's the hurry? Who are you racing against? Really? I observe so many people just comparing themselves to other people. You've got to beat the competition, focusing on all these things that they have absolutely no control over. We have this idea that we have any fucking clue what's going on in other people's lives. And we don't. And at the beginning of each of these videos, I ask you to like and subscribe and to share, all that jazz. And it helps, we know that the algo likes these things. We know that the algorithm wants people to get involved and be social on social media. But so constantly comparing ourselves to other people's achievements, it's so fantastically easy to completely forget about yourself. It's so easy to get lost in the swamp and the fog of what you believe, because you've got no proof, but what you believe people think about you. What's their opinion on this thing that you're doing? What do they think of you because of that? You've got no idea. And I know it can feel like a really hard thing to accept that your only competition is the version of yourself today compared to the version of yourself yesterday. And this is another thing that we hear. There's no room for just being. And in quite a few, and this is a theme that's emerging, in quite a few podcasts that I've watched fairly recently, different videos and things that I've seen, that people talking about, and people from my age, I'm a bit older, I'm in my early 40s, in my era, we actually had moments where we were genuinely bored, when we couldn't think of things to do. And of course, you can always find something to do. The devil makes work for idle hands. But just the opportunity, this idea of scheduling in boredom. Or I had a conversation with a really good new friend the other day who said, just be. No television. I don't actually have television, but no computers, no mobile phones on, no technology. Sit in a room, stare at a wall, and eventually a fly will go by. No room for that. And I tweeted out earlier, actually, and yes, I still call it tweeting, I always will, because Elon is just trolling us. We all know it. He's all having a laugh at our expense by changing the name to X, but it's Twitter. So I said good morning to Twitterland this morning. I tweeted that humility is the space in between listening and speaking. Speak, X, Y, Z. Stop. Response. Responsible. That's what response means. Response-able. I know it's able, but it's able. One of those weird English linguistic, what's the word? Tweaks? Quirks, that's the word, quirks. But have the space. Give yourself the space. I know I say this on so many of my videos, but it is your life. Always remember that. In my background to this video, I've got a little visual decoy to see who will notice what's different in the background compared to the other videos. And some people will see it Some of you won't. I mean, it's fairly obvious, but maybe there are a couple actually. But you know, start focusing on your life. Start focusing on your life. I refer to them now because in 2014, I did a handful of really amazing entrepreneurial seminars, most of them in Poland. We stayed in this unbelievable hotel complex outside of Warsaw called Hotel Ossa, O-S-S-A, O-S-S for sugar, A. And I've forgotten the point I was sort of going to make, but you know, I did all of these seminars, and you've got to have time to be able to implement the stuff that you learn, you know? You've got to have time to absorb all the stuff that's happening. It's your life. It is. I know it doesn't feel like it. And the reason it doesn't feel like your life, if that's something that you are struggling with, the reason it doesn't feel like your life is because you're not saying no enough. That's the key. Say no a lot more. Learn to stand up for yourself. Learn to value and trust yourself, that you're allowed to say no. Don't seek permission. Don't seek forgiveness. Seek and embody self-determination. That's what the quest is actually about. And all of these, I sometimes joke saying, aren't people hacked off yet with life hacks? I don't talk about life hacks. Just make your life as simple as you possibly can. That honestly is the key. And start taking responsibility for yourself and giving yourself what you need. Because the reason it feels so impossible to find space for yourself is because other people are always going to ask you to do things. Some of them you will want to, some of them you won't. But the reason it's a problem is not because of them. The reason it's a problem is because you're saying yes to too many people's demands or requests or suggestions, and you're saying no to yourself. You've got to flip the table. You've got to flip the switch, and you've got to start saying yes to yourself by saying no to the things that don't serve you. And that's everything. Leisure, work, relationships, lifestyle. It is all down to you. It's always your responsibility. In the end, no matter what, you do make the choice. It can be a very, very hard thing to accept because you'll start to realize, oh fuck, I don't really value myself very highly. Oh fuck, I'm actually really horrible to myself. Oh fuck, what if, and then the agonizing starts, and then people make themselves ill with that. They feel despair and doom and hopelessness. But all of that comes out of wanting to please people or wanting certain things from people that don't necessarily serve you, but wanting them anyway because it fills a void or it satisfies something temporarily in you. We always win, you know, no matter what situation we're in. And this is a hard truth to swallow, but whatever situation you're in, no matter how terrible it seems, there absolutely 100% is something or some things that do actually benefit you. And focus on whatever it is in the hard situation that you're going through. How are you benefiting? I've been really thinking about this hard today, really deeply. And that's the journey. I also tweeted today that wherever you are is the adventure. Because if there's no adventure, that means that you've solved all of your problems, all of your issues, all of your hang-ups, all of your worries, regrets, anxieties, blah, blah, blah. Wherever you are is the adventure, because it's always a good time to dive deeper into how you've lived your life, the choices that you've made, and use that as a springboard to make your life better. Adventure everywhere. Or even in when you're at home and you think, oh God, the same old four walls. No, there's just billions and billions of adventures, you know? How do I feel more comfortable in here? How do I make this more beautiful? How do I make it a transformation, you know? That's why focusing on other people, comparing yourself, is the thief of joy, because it distracts you from you. Focus on what you need to do, what you want to do. And believe me, when you do that, you'll start to find the people that should be in your life. Because now that I've been doing all of this really deep, proper spiritual work, and it's not easy, I keep saying this, not easy, it's very difficult. It's the most difficult thing to do, is to actually be honest with yourself and to admit all of the things that are so terrifying, you know? But now, my earliest and closest friend from university, we've just come off a really fantastic little Skype call. I say little, it wasn't little, it was huge, momentous and fantastic. We just had a really lovely conversation. We're there for each other. And she's surfaced, come back into my life, because I'm doing the real work. It's lovely. It's so heavenly, because it's so familiar and it's so new, because we're more mature people now. We've got more experience under our belts. But it comes from prioritizing the essentials in your life. And you have essentials, and that's an adventure in itself, just discovering what it is that makes you authentically and uniquely you. Start there. Other people are going to do what they're going to do regardless of what you do and who you are. Let them do them. Let them. Not that you need to give them permission. They don't need your permission. They're living their life. And they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. You have no idea about their circumstances. You have no idea about their hardships. You have no idea what it would take for them to do all of that stuff. And you will never do that, because you are you and they are them. It sounds so patronizing, I know, but it's not. Most people don't realize this. I say it sounds patronizing. Most people don't get it. Constantly, oh, the competition, you know? They're out commenting you on Twitter, or they're producing higher quality videos on YouTube. Okay. That's them. Business. Be in your business. Do you. And these phrases have been taken over politically and culturally. But what it means is focus on your life and what you can do, because that's the only thing that you can actually control and make better. And what you'll find is, because life is inside out, it's not outside in, life is inside out. Once you start being true to yourself, all of your concerns, they evaporate, mostly. You can always find problems if you want to find them, but you can always find adventure if you want to find adventure. And I love adventure. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic to have adventure, because it's everywhere. A little tweak, a little bit of progress. Started a new painting today. No hurry. You're not racing against anybody. You're not racing against yourself. Do you know why you're not racing against yourself? Because you can never outrun yourself. No matter where you go or what you do, you're never going to outrun yourself. We're in the body, and we've got the mind, and we've got the heart, and we've got the soul. We've got all of this stuff. You don't need to outrun yourself. Now, what you need to do is connect with yourself. Start being kinder to yourself. I know it sounds really, really cloyingly sweet, because these phrases have been hijacked and they've been politicized and everything. Just ignore all of that. Do be kind to yourself, and ignore the people who tell you not to be kind to yourself. Because if you look at the people who say, oh no, don't be kind to yourself, look at all of those people. They're all fucking miserable. They're always complaining. They're always talking about injustices all the time and never ever appreciating the beauty. Look at the results of people's actions and understand that when you start being kinder to yourself, you'll get more done, you'll have less brain fog, you'll be more focused on what it is that really moves your spirit, and you'll do great things by slowing down to speed up. I learned that from Tim Ferriss. It's one of the most important lessons. It's slowly but surely starting actually now to come into fruition for me. It feels great. It feels really brilliant. It's an ongoing process of becoming, of transforming yourself, not into a new person, but transforming yourself into the person that you've always been by stripping away the bullshit, my friends. It's a wonderful process, and it's an ongoing one. Progress over perfection. Start being kinder to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people, and start making real progress in your life. That's what I want for you, but you have to want it for yourself. So I leave that up to you. Thank you very much for listening. Martin Pavey here. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message if you wish. It does help. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now.